Well, I'm Doug Melton, here with my colleague David Scadden, and we're delighted to be here to mark the 10th year of the starting of the new department.
We had the great pleasure of being able to start this, and really in many ways it organically grew out of the Harvard Stem Cell Institute, which I think is now just a bit older.
I remember when you came to see me, we were both excited about all of the opportunity stem cells offered, both for sort of doing basic new biology and possibly treating patients. And I think the department grew out after the scientific excitement. We realized there was such a rich area that it would be an important thing for Harvard undergraduates to have access to that kind of way of thinking about science, where you combine the basic science with, I don't know what we call it, applied biology. You know, how would you treat patients? I was just reminding myself, David, that when we started the department, really with the encouragement of Larry Summers and Steve Hyman, and then enthusiastically followed up by Drew Faust. Drew's mantra, as you know, is one university. And not only do we represent that as the first co-school department, cross-school department with FAS and HMS, but we really connect to the university through the hospitals. That's what you reminded me of.
That's a bridge that our faculty cross, but also it makes a very easy bridge for our students to cross.
Yes.
I think a lot of our students have that opportunity to work side by side with people in the discovery process. But it just seems like that's something that really allows them to think about science in a very different way. It's much more about the process than about the specific factual learning.
One of the things we've managed to do is to say that your Harvard experience isn't just in the classroom. In fact, that's sort of a starting point. It's, as you say, it's getting to know scientists at all stages of their careers and doctors, and to participate in science.
Yeah.
I think many of them see right away that, unlike reading the book, most things don't work, but it's fun to go back and figure out why they didn't work, as it's sort of team effort.
Right.
That makes going to work every day fun, particularly with the undergraduates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this notion of how do I solve that problem? We can create that in a classroom, but they actually then have to live that at the bench, and that's fantastic, I think.
Rather than telling students what we know, you make them think about what are the big questions we don't know the answer to. We tend to attract those kinds of students who want to do something that makes a big difference, rather than just learning what others have already concluded.
Right. And I think that actually is a part of our culture. You know, when we first met, we had the chance to think wildly about what could happen. And I can't say I could even imagine how wonderful it's been.
That's
you know,
true.
to work together and to work with the colleagues that we've had, the students that have come through our ranks, and frankly with a university that makes all of us better.
It's true.
And I think it's just been so deeply satisfying, and it's something I could never be grateful enough to say what it's meant to me, and I think for us both.
Yeah, and I think, well, I would even add on a personal level, becoming a close friend of yours has meant a lot to me.
Okay. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been
Thanks.
great. Thank you.